What's up, basketball fans? Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. Kind of a cozy, sleepy little 4-game night in the NBA in advance of a 15-game extravaganza on Wednesday, but we ain't sleeping. We're up. We are wired. We are ready to have fun with you guys over the next hour or so, breaking down this slate. We've got all the segments. We've got all the fantasy takes that you need. We need to tell you about our great sponsor before we dive in with our Magic Man of the night. And BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Dr. A, my good friend, who is your magic man from this 4-game Tuesday night?
Well, we told you to load up on a man, as you would say, a man named Katz props, and he delivered. Karl Anthony Towns lit up. What's his face? Thomas Bryant for the. Why am I drawing a blank? Anyway, Indiana did not have their center, who, for some reason, I'm having a total brain fog.
Miles
right
Turner.
Miles Turner was out. We knew that going in. Thomas Bryant played. Cat went nuts. He had 40 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, 3 3-pointers. Knicks win. That's my magic man. Why can I not think of Turner's name? That's ridiculous. Getting old sucks, dude.
Yeah, Miles Turner's out. He got the neck injury, and it's kind of concerning, a neck injury, right? I don't know if it's muscular or sort of, hopefully it's not structural, because that could create a really significant issue for him. But, Thomas Bryant played well here on Tuesday night. But he is not my magic man, Doc. My magic man is Scotty Barnes. Toronto and Scotty Barnes, without R.J. Barrett, without Jakob Poeltl, they went into Philadelphia and beat the 76ers with their big three. They had Joel Embiid, they had Paul George, they had Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey had probably his worst game as a pro tonight. I'm not mad at him. He's probably due for one of these games. Philadelphia recently also lost to the Detroit Pistons without Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Philadelphia is an atrocious abomination of a basketball club right now. They suck. They hardcore suck, okay? You have Embiid, you have George, you have Maxey. You are still losing games that there's no way you should be losing, okay? And there's just a really horrible vibe with that team. I'll get to Scotty Barnes and then flesh out that thought here a little bit. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 3. He is the contemporary Scottie Pippen, okay? With the overall stat line, the PRA, a defensive guy. He's got a similar body type, and he's just a stud, okay? But he made plays late. He got some big defensive plays in this basketball game, and was just there. And Scotty Barnes is bringing it right now. Emmanuel Quickly is bringing it right now. Darko Rajakovic is coaching his butt off. They're up to 17 wins right now. They're not in the Cooper flag tank, and they're not like going for anything, but they're playing their guys and trying to be good and trying to build for the future. Now, to the Philadelphia side, Doc, okay? It's bad right now. They're down 2 closing seconds. Joel Embiid's got the rock wide open 3-ball, right? I mean, it was almost like an illegal defense. They were so far away from him. And he didn't want it, tried to go left to right between the legs, and coming up on the right, he lost the handle. Ball squirts behind him. Grady Dick gets the steal, the run out, the foul. And that was all she wrote. The fans were booing, okay, as Joel Embiid made that mistake. And in the aftermath of that, Philly is funky. guys. So those are our Magic Man. Doc's got Karl Anthony Towns. I've got Scotty Barnes. So Doc, only 4 games here, but I've got several guys written down here. Give me your top 5 must-adds for this night in the NBA.
Malik Beasley had a good game for Detroit, and I know he should be rostered everywhere, but he's only on 32% of ESPN league teams. Just make sure Beasley's not out there. I think he's going to win the 6th man of the year. He's balling out. He had 7 triples tonight in an absolute blowout. Matas Buzelis, the Bulls got walloped tonight, so Buzelis didn't do much. I think he only played 19 minutes. I don't care. I want him down the stretch. He's got a fantasy-friendly game. He's going to win the dunk contest. He's going to become a household name, sort of, if anybody even bothers to watch All-Star Weekend. And I want Buzelis on all my teams. Thomas Bryant. Miles Turner is out tomorrow. You want Thomas Bryant on your team. Sarah Thompson did it again. He had like 16 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Like, he's doing everything right now. I didn't read his stat line off, so that was some of that was probably wrong, but it was something like that. And then my guy, who we talk about in depth in tomorrow's preview show, Olivier Prosper. I think he's going to have a big game. And I know he's the only big man left standing in Dallas. So I want him on my teams right now.
Doc's got a Prosper vibe. Go out there and see if you can be prosperous with him. Thomas Bryant, my top 5 must-adds. Thomas Bryant is a must-add for you. On this loss to New York here on Tuesday, 18, 9, and 4 with a block and a 3. I want to also echo the Osar Thompson, 16, 3, and 4, 2 blocks, 4 steals in only 22 minutes. Okay. And I've been talking about him for a couple of weeks now. He is surging. The lines keep getting better and better and better game after game. So that's 2 guys must-adds from tonight. So let me go back to Bol here. And, in our preview shows, we talk about 3 players or situations to watch closely, right? And for me going into tonight, Bol was one of those situations because of the Kevin Durant thing. And Bol was playing with Kevin Durant out. I figured that with Kevin Durant coming back for Tuesday night's game against Memphis, that Bol would either come off the bench or not play because that was the arrangement. Well, what happened was Bol over the last 2 games played so darn well that Coach Bud is like, yo, I think we found something here. And so here, as I look here, Doc, there's 101 left in the game. Memphis is up 116 to 110. Bol is at 18 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals, 3 threes. Okay. That's a first round low-key Wemby type of stat line. Okay. Bol has drawn Wemby comparisons before. So Bol, Doc, to me, this is a run, don't walk to pick him up scenario with him starting next to Kevin Durant, Nick Richards in there. Bol is essentially starting at either the 4 or the 3 with Tyus Jones and Devin Booker. Why wouldn't they rock this way? Phoenix is a rotting carcass of a team with the young fella Ryan Dunn in the starting 5. That's doing nothing for anybody. They're doing with when Royce O'Neal is in the starting 5. That does nothing for anybody except Dr. A, who's a huge fan. They got to get some oomph, some octane, some dynamicism. And Bol brings that, dude. That's a spectacular stat line here with a minute left in the game.
He played great this whole game. I've had it on the whole time. I should have had him on my list, but, we make these lists early, and I think Bol had 7 points when I made this list. 18 points, 13 boards, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 3 threes. And he's been out there a lot. That's a lot of run for him, man. He hasn't gotten much run in a long time. I don't know how long it's going to last. We've seen flashes of Bol before, but this one feels a little bit different just because we hear about a toxic environment in Phoenix. KD doesn't seem like he's all that happy to be there. Beal, who knows when we'll see that dude again. Bol played great tonight. He made mistakes, but I think Coach Bud may give him some run here and just see what they got because nothing else is working.
So I don't believe that Bradley Beal's eventual return, and the word on Beal, per Coach Bud, he's been ruled out through the All-Star break. He's going to not play on Wednesday night as well. So, and that's obviously very predictable as Bradley Beal. Hey, Brad, just go on vacation. We already know you kind of sort of are. But even when Beal is out there, Doc, he's coming off the bench. He's going to play his 25 to 28 to 31 minutes, depending on how hot he is that night. And I don't think he's going to disrupt Bol at all. I really don't. Because I think Tyus Jones is going to become collapsible in that situation when Beal is out there. And Beal is going to take playing time off of Tyus Jones, I believe, more than he's going to take playing time off of Bol. So that's my thought on that. Now, I've got a couple other guys for you, Doc. I've given you Thomas Bryant, Osar Thompson, and Bol. Let me also give you mentioned Buzelis. I'm kind of Buzelis out in terms of the fatigue of talking about him here. I mean, have you picked him up yet? I mean, you listen to our show, right? You like our podcast, Fantasy NBA Today, Rick Kamla, Steve Alexander. We've got the great Andre Lamouche behind the glass. I mean, you know we're the guys, right? We're the legends, the GOATs, the OGs. Nobody does it better than us. You guys know all that stuff, right? We've been barking about Buzelis for, 3 weeks, at least 2. Anyway, so Jonathan Mogbo, Doc, I think is somebody that people need to look at, all right, in deep leagues, 14 and up, not 10 and 12 team leagues. But tonight against Embiid, Mogbo went 4-5-5, 2 steals, 21 minutes. He was in foul trouble. 4-5-5, 2 steals. Okay. The previous 3 games, he was going 10-5-3 PRA with basically a block and a steal. Okay. It's not great. It's not great. All right. But if you're in a deep league, I think Mogbo is somebody you need to look at, like Brewski has in the Cam Dynasty. He is a manager of Jonathan Mogbo. And then I'm going to throw a Chua out there, Doc. 12 rebounds tonight. It's hard to get rebounds off of waivers. It's also hard to get assists off of waivers, okay? It's easy to get 3 balls and some points off of waivers, right? But Achua's flirting with 10 rebounds every game. That needs to be picked up, right? He was 9 and 12 with 2 assists and a block on Tuesday night in the win over Indiana. So Achua is my 5th must-add pickup. All right, Doc, let's get into the drops here as we recap the 4-game Tuesday night. And give me your 3 drops here.
I'm going to ask you a quick question about Achua first.
Yeah.
Are you worried about OG Anunoby coming back? He almost played tonight, and I think he's probably going to play in the next one. So
I don't think he is. I think he's out on Wednesday, Doc. Let me verify that. But I think he's out on Wednesday.
I was getting
OG is he has not been ruled out for Wednesday. I stand corrected. Is
Achua sort of in that must pick up, be ready to drop him if OG starts going off category? Because Achua's played well enough, he should be rostered.
Well, look, must-add might be strong for Precious Achua. Bol is Bol is a must-add. Osar Thompson's a must-add. Buzelis is a must-add. So if we're tiering this, and I did mention him last, and for Wednesday night, to me, Thomas Bryant's a must-add, right? So you got me there. Is Achua a must-add? No, by definition. But and you're right. If OG Anunoby comes back, then guess what? You're going to flush Precious Achua. But you know how these teams operate, Doc. You know how these teams operate.
And Achua's played well enough that you're not crazy for calling him a must-add. I mean, he had a good line tonight. He's played well for 2 weeks. I'm just worried about it coming to an end. But
it's coming to an end when OG comes back. But how these teams operate is they always want to give the guys more time off their feet, right? So they're probably going to just take it through the All-Star break and like the Beal thing with OG. So I would actually bet against him playing on Wednesday night. But we'll see.
My must drops are kind of boring. The N twins in Indiana, Neesmith and Nemhard. I just haven't seen them do anything for a while, and it's annoying. Tim Hardaway is lost and forgotten with the Malik Beasley and Auxerre show in Detroit. You're still sitting on Tim Hardaway. You shouldn't be. And then Pat Williams is going to be owned by Buzelis the rest of the way. And I'm out on Pat Will.
I like the list, Doc.
And then I've got another one. What is happening with Nick Richards, dude? Do you remember when Nick Richards signed with the Suns and everybody went nuts?
Yep.
And
that's what we do. That's what we do in the fantasy community. We get a little crazy on stuff like that.
He's going to be the hottest pickup of all time, yada, yada, yada.
16
minutes. And he still hasn't really popped in Phoenix. Like dude, he's a problem.
Gross. No
so
blocks.
I'm having, with all these hot centers out there, like Donovan Clingan and Moussa Diabate, there's so many other guys I'd rather, Bol, so many other guys I'd rather have than Nick Richards.
Bro, Coach Bud just needs to lean in. He needs to lean into Bol, bro. And what I'm doing here, because Grayson Allen coming into this game was playing well. When Durant was out, he was at 15 points and, I think 5 and 5, like some good games, right? Grayson Allen was playing well. Tonight, Durant comes back, 19 minutes, 9 points, Grayson Allen stuff. Grayson Allen's making $1 zillion, okay? They should probably play him. To me, Doc, Nick Richards is coming off the bench. This audition has not gone well. He played 16 minutes tonight, but what are we doing? This is what we call the token starter, right? Where you don't even play starters minutes. Like, what is that? It's some Steve Kerr, Trace Jackson Davis bull crap. So just stop that. Play Bol at center. Kevin Durant. And it doesn't even matter. Just have an interchangeable positionless group out there. Bol and Kevin Durant are your bigs. And then you go Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, and Devin Booker. Okay. And if you want to talk me into Royce O'Neal for the 3-and-D, all right. Okay. I can go with that. But Nick Richards is bringing nothing to the wood right now. And Bol is. So I'm greenlighting Bol, and I'm getting more shooting into my starting 5. I don't know. That's just how I'm rocking here, Doc. And I don't know if Coach, but see, they have like, not incentive. Maybe it is incentive, but they got to prove that they weren't idiots for the Nick Richards trade. So they got to at least start him, right, for the optics of it. But to me, give that up. You're Phoenix. You're mediocre. Do something else. Lean into Bol. That's where I'm at with that, Doc. But I like your list, bro.
Would you drop Anthony Davis or Daniel Gafford, who are both injured, if they were your only options to pick up Bol?
Oh boy. Oh, is that an Andre joint right there?
AD's out for a month, dude. AD's out for a month, and I think he's out for a season. But
dude, this one, like when a running back is going around end and a safety or a cornerback just comes out and just like helmet to the knee and just like upends him, that's me right now. God bless America. Am I dropping Davis or Gafford? I'm not dropping Davis for Bol. I just can't. I described to you the scenario that I drop Anthony Davis. I'm in a quarterfinal matchup. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm absolutely desperate for games. I have no other recourse but to drop Anthony Davis because it's do or die for my team. There is no tomorrow. That's the only scenario I drop Anthony Davis. I'm not dropping Anthony Davis for Bol.
What about Gafford?
I can't because Gafford is reevaluated in 2 weeks, which means he might be back in a month, right? It's a knee sprain. And so let's say, I know that the re-eval is not the point of return. I get that, right? But let's say he's evaluated in 2 weeks and they say, yeah, you're good. You've healed up. You're doing well. Let's now start the ramp up process. Then he's back in that 3rd week or that 4th week out, which would be, I believe, I'm just kind of estimating here, like the fantasy playoff semifinals or finals or quarterfinals. But that would be about the playoff.
And like I said, we've seen.
I just don't trust Bol to that degree, dude. I'm psyched about it, but not to drop those guys.
We've seen Bol do this before, and then we've seen him disappear. So I would be leery to cut a really good player to pick up Bol.
Dude, Gafford's 4 blocks a game. You know what I'm saying? Gafford's 4 blocks a game when he's in there. 4, not 2. And you know that. So would you drop either of those guys for Bol?
I might cut Gafford. If my injured reserve is full of people I need, I don't want to wait a month for Daniel Gafford to come back. I just don't want to do it. And I don't want to wait a month for Anthony Davis either. I mean, it all depends on my IR. I would not feel good about doing this. But I'll tell you what, Bol, if he keeps playing 25 or 30 minutes a night for Phoenix, he's going to win somebody. He's going to win some championships, and especially if somebody picked him up in 30 deep, a 30-team league, pick him up like a month ago. He's got league-winning potential if he plays. I would have trouble. I would have trouble cutting Bol for either. I mean, cutting those guys to pick up Bol, but I could see a scenario where I would do it.
All right. So let's see here. Who am I dropping? I gotta cut somebody here. I just cut
Bol right now.
I just cut Nebhard for Bol in the Cam Dynasty. Yes. I am pumped, bro. Dude, pumped. I just looked at. I was like, "There's no way Bol's not on a team." I'm pissed at myself for not already picking him up. I'm like, Bol's a free agent? And so I'm glad I didn't tip you off to that because you might have beat me to him. Yes, I got Bol at Camp Dynasty, baby. Let's go. Would you drop DeAndre Ayton for, dude, there's a Bol uprising in here. Would you trade DeAndre Ayton for Bol?
Yeah, I'd probably do that. Ayton ain't coming back anytime soon. And Klingon.
Oh, you saw that they're going to do imaging on Ayton, right? You saw that report?
Yeah, he's done for a while. Bye.
Golly, again, I don't want to drop Ayton for Bol. Okay, Andre Lamouche is our great producer, and he asked the tough question. So does Doc. But Doc, if I'm backed into a corner, I'm doing it. But the reality is I probably don't have to drop DeAndre Ayton for Bol right now. I can probably move Ayton. I'm a big Yahoo League player. So you move him to the IL plus spot or the INJ spot, right? And he's probably not going to be INJ yet because he's going to miss. This would be his first full game after suffering the injury, right? So you got to miss I think 3 games to get the INJ from Yahoo and then be able to move him into that spot. But if you're in a league that has the INJ and the IL plus, which is how they should be done, IL plus is like the game time decision guys, right? Then you just move Ayton down to that and you go pick up Bol. Okay, so that was fun. A little Bol uprising here. But Coach Bud, make this right. So we're on drops right now. We're reacting to Tuesday night's 4-game slate, Fantasy NBA today. Download the SportsEthos app. It's completely free. We've got blurbs, super comprehensive, the best in the business on NBA, MLB, and NFL. Go out there and check that out. Doc, I agree with you on Nebhard. I just caught him in the Cam Dynasty for Bol, okay? And I'm a Nebhard guy. I do like him. And he was dropped recently. And I was like, Nebhard was dropped? I kind of like Nebhard. He's had 2 really crappy games on my watch, so he's back on waivers in a 14-team league. Tim Hardaway Jr., Doc, is garbage right now. Remember the days when he was 13 points and 3 threes and it was kind of cute and cuddly? He's at 11 points and 2 threes right now on the season. That is beyond the waiver wire, okay? So Nebhard and Tim Hardaway Jr. were on my list as well. And I want to then offer you Dennis Schroeder and Andre Drummond because their roster percentages are way too high, especially Andre Drummond. Guys, he does not play. Something named Adem Bona is playing over him at center. And not even, I think Yabusele was the backup center to Embiid tonight. So Bona's not even playing right now. Come on. Andre Drummond. I mean, I'm an Andre Drummond guy. Historically, I am. I'm on record many, many times. But no, not anymore. Caught him. Send him to waivers. Dennis Schroeder is the backup point guard in Detroit right now. Playing 17 minutes, 18 minutes. Come on. It's the waiver wire. And I told you when he went to Golden State that it wasn't going to work. Okay. And it did not. And you should have dropped him at that point. People are still rostering Dennis Schroeder like he's a thing. It's driving me crazy. Cut him now. Dennis, love you. I'm not mad at him. Okay, so it's Cam and Doc. It's Fantasy NBA today. And let's move on with a recap here of the 4-game Tuesday night with our top 3 buy low targets that have emerged from this day or these games. Doc?
I just need to let you know I just dropped Al Horford for Bull while that was all going on. And Yahoo, I didn't think Yahoo would let me drop a guy that played today.
In what league did you do that?
This is my rock and roll Yahoo league.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were saying 30 deep you made that move. I was going to be like, wait, you got Bull.
Dude, he ain't available in 30 deep. There's no way. Do I need to go look? He's not available after what he did the other day. All right,
we are competitive around here. Bull is on a team. Tracy Faye's got Bull. Good for you, Tracy.
He's probably had him for a while. I would have dropped Achua for Bull, but Achua played today and it wouldn't let me drop him. So I had to do Horford, which I'm okay with. And if it doesn't work out, I got tons of centers. We are doing. Are we doing buy lows?
This is buy lows from tonight's action.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson, Kobe White, Tyrese Maxey, all kind of sucked. And so did Mikal Bridges. And anytime your guy has a bad night, or a good player has a bad night, that is maybe a mini buy low moment, but it's a buy low moment. So Mikal Bridges, Kobe White, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, all terrible tonight. Especially Maxey, man. I had him. You said you're not mad at him. No, I'm mad at him. I had him in a prop, and I had him on my FanDuel team, and I thought he was going to go nuts. I look up, he's got like 0.2 fantasy points after the first quarter. I was like, what is going on? And it never got any better. It was just a disaster. So there's probably a lot of people mad at Tyrese Maxey tonight, which means you might be able to benefit from their anger tomorrow. Although I doubt they're going to give him up unless the deal's really good. The offer would have to be pretty good. Those are my guys. And the guys that played well tonight, a guy who played well tonight, who I still think is a buy low, is Emmanuel Quickly.
That's where I want to pick up with mine. My 3 buy low targets. I want to start with Emmanuel Quickly. You're like, what? Yes. Okay. Back-to-back 20-point games. He's rolling. He's back up to Emmanuel Quickly after, I'm the first 60% of the season not available or in substitute. Not anymore. He's emerged from that. RJ Barrett just misses game after game. I don't know when the heck he's going to return. I presume after the All-Star break. But look, Emmanuel Quickly is going to have a lot of value even when RJ Barrett returns. Guys, let me give you the numbers for Emmanuel Quickly last year after the All-Star break, okay, and before he got hurt or they shut him down. 18 games after the All-Star break. In a Raptors uniform, he went 21-6-8. 21-6-8. 1.2 steals and 3 threes per game. That is probably, Doc, a first-round value, at least second-round value stat line, probably a second-round value stat line, okay? Toronto has 17 wins. It doesn't look like they're going to shut down their players, okay? So Quickly, to me, is a buy low guy. And then I wanted to give you 2 others here, and then I want to kind of launch off and talk about this other one. Kobe White, to me, you mentioned the Brunsons, the Maxies, right? The bad performance. I feel that way about Kobe White. Previous 5 games, all 20 or more, right? Tonight, he was dreadful. 5 points on 2 of 13 against Detroit. Just see if the manager's a little freaked out. because this is Kobe White's show here. It's not Vucevic's show. It's Kobe White's show down the stretch. Chicago collectively had their worst game of the year, okay? So don't define Kobe White with this. Capitalize on it and see if you can go pluck him. Mikal Bridges, I've got on my buy low list as well, Doc. 6 points on 3 of 7 in 29 minutes here. Over the previous week, he's been dreadful. 14-2-2 PRA. That's waiver wire. 1.5 steals and 1.3 per game. Over the last week, he's been a waiver wire guy, okay? But on the season, he's 18-3-3, 1 steal, 2.4 threes. It's not a great stat line, but it's a solid stat line. Now, the launch off here is Brandon Ingram. Doc, we got some news here today. 3 years in an extension, $120 million, okay? It's absolutely mind-boggling to me that Toronto gave him $120 million, $40 million a year. First of all, to Brandon Ingram, Brandon Soft Tissue Ingram. Second of all, he has not played 1 minute in their uniform, and they have paid him. Okay, so this tells me that some kind of promise went down before the trade went down, right? Okay, why would you do that? Why would you, gangster Masai Ujiri, okay, like even studs, even goats make mistakes, right? That's all I got for you on that. I still love Masai Ujiri. What is he thinking? Okay, think about this, Doc. Brandon Ingram, like I said, has not played a game for them yet. All right. And going back to the deadline. Okay. So did Brandon Ingram have that much leverage where he had to agree to go to Toronto? And the only way he was going to agree to go to Toronto was for them to have this 3-year, $120 million extension ready for him. This is the same type of money that he did not want to stay in New Orleans for. And now he's going to sign this in Toronto outside of the United States. None of this makes sense, okay? So why wouldn't Toronto play it out, see him in their uniform? Think about it. Who else in the league would pay him 3 years and $120 million? I want to know. Give me another team that, to me, Toronto has bid against themselves right here. This is a god-awful contract for them because he's going to play 47 games next year, and Toronto's going to be stuck in the muck. They've got big contracts on Ingram, Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly, and a pretty good contract on Pirtle, and they're not going to win a damn thing with it.
You're right. I mean, and again, I like we were talking about off the air earlier. I get why Toronto did this, but I don't like it, and I don't. It's not a good idea. Dude doesn't play. Part-time player for $120 million. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a mess. Brandon Ingram will never play for one of my fantasy teams again.
Does this make him at all a buy low for people in the fantasy community? Because if you're giving him this money, there's a plan, right? He has to come back and play with this money, right? So this is a question. Is he a buy low guy for me? No. Okay. He is toxicity in fantasy basketball. I will never, ever manage Brandon Ingram. So I assume that's where you're at as well, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like the Jimmy Butler thing. When he's going to get traded, he's going to play, and he's going to be better. So if you want to go get Jimmy Butler, now's the time to do it. I think that's where we're at with Brandon Ingram too. Although I'm still not 100% convinced he's going to play this year. That contract's for next year, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Go ahead.
Speaking of contracts, Rick, we recorded the Wednesday preview show already, and I went on an epic Luka Doncic rant, and then I threw some more of it into this show. I don't even remember what it was, but I threw some more Luka stuff out there that they brought Anthony Davis back to earlier. Maybe that was the end of that show. I don't know. Do you know that Kyrie Irving has a player option deadline on June 25th of this year? Guess who's not coming back to Dallas next year? Guess who's just as mad as everybody else that Luka's gone? Kyrie Irving. Bye-bye. Just saying. The hits just keep on coming. All right.
It's going to be Klay Thompson against the world in 25-26.
and Max Christie and Olivier.
And your boy Prosper. And your boy Prosper.
Oh, and Dante Exum.
Omax. It's going to be the Omax show next year in Dallas, man. Cubano, why did you sell the team, for the love of God?
Kid ain't coming back. Kyrie's not coming back. Gafford's on the phone to his agent right now.
Dude, Jason Kidd's got to be so pissed. Jason Kidd, man. It's like, what did you do to my team?
Him and Nico like the same kind of players. So me and Jay Kidd, we're on the same page. Right, bro.
Yeah, remember that? I don't even need to talk with him about trades. I know exactly who he wants.
Why would I tell him I'm trading Luka? Why would I tell him? We're on the same page.
Dude, this is like so political and messy and like espionage and I don't know. I'm getting into words that I don't even really know what the hell they are. All right, Doc, we're reacting.
What are we doing now?
Let's get to sell high players based on what we saw here on Tuesday night, the 4 games. Who you got? Sell high players. Hit me.
I've got a couple 76ers that I'm guessing are on your list. Joel Embiid and Paul George. They played.
Well done.
They played in the game.
Well done. They played.
Go get rid of them. And then I've got Precious Achiuwa on there, just as we talked about. Precious Achiuwa, because OG is going to come back and kind of mess him up. But I don't know if you can sell him for enough back that it's even worth trading him. You might as well just ride the horse until the wheels fall off. And then I don't like what's going on in Phoenix, man. They're not winning. It's a toxic environment. This whole Bradley Beal thing. We got Bol in there. Kevin Durant kind of looks like he doesn't want to be there. So I'm worried that if Phoenix falls any further out of this playoff race, some bad stuff could happen. And you could probably trade Kevin Durant for a boatload. So I think he's kind of a sell high. He had a great game tonight, like 34, 3-3 with 5 blocks, something like that. That's my list.
I love it. The thing with Kevin Durant too, Doc, is obviously he's very injury prone too. He's always a sprained ankle, a sprained knee, a whatever, right? It's always some kind of foot or knee or something. So that you got that kind of lurking.
He blocked a shot tonight and he grabbed his leg while he was on the ground and he was kind of holding his crotch and he was kind of moving gingerly. I didn't love it, but he stayed in and finished the whole game and had 34 points and 5 blocks. So I'm assuming he's okay, but I will be kind of keeping an ear out for maybe a game time decision call on KD tomorrow. Yeah,
they're playing on Wednesday night, so we'll see a little back-to-back here for Phoenix. All right, my sell high guys, Paul George missed a huge corner 3 tonight, guys. Of course he did. It's Paul George in the clutch. 3-2-1. Usually doesn't go well for him. He had 14, 3, and 2 in 36 minutes. 14, 3, and 2. Remember the good old days when Paul George would have a 25, 5, and 5 PRA? Oh, those days are dead. 14, 3, and 2. Okay. See whatever you can get. Can you get the washing machine that they traded Monson for in semi-pro? I don't know. See what you can get for Paul George. How about Joel Embiid? He's healthy, which means it's an opportunity to get out on him. He had 27 and 12 tonight with 4 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 3. And we talked about butchering the between the legs crossover, turning the ball over at the most important time of the game, and hearing boos from the crowd in Philadelphia. And then finally, Doc, a sell high guy is Nikola Vucevic, and I'm going to keep banging on this drum. He sucked again tonight. 8.7 rebounds on 4 of 15. Nikola Vucevic is now off the board over the last week in Basketball Monster ranking, which means he's sub 188. Matter of fact, he's in like the 300s, okay? He's been dreadful. and see, look, the overall stat line is still very, very good. Okay. So see if you can catch a manager napping here on this recent swoon in Nikola Vucevic's game. But those are my 3 sell high guys. And I want you guys to download the SportsEthos app. It's completely free. Get elite fantasy tools and real-time updates for the NBA, MLB, and NFL. All right, Doc. Let's see here. Let's get to our stud and dud awards of the night, shall we? And we break down this 4-game Tuesday night. Okay, so let's get to our first installment here, which is our top 3 performances of the night. And Doc, they are number 1, Karl Anthony Towns, your magic man, 40, 12, and 5, 3 steals, 3 threes. What a line. Number 2, Kevin Durant, badass, 34, 3 and 3, 1 steal, 5 blocks, 3 threes. And number 3, Doc, Bull with a bullet, 18, 4 and 2, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 3 threes. And pardon me. So those are your top performances of the night. Is there anybody beyond that you would want to shout out, or any further commentary that you have on Bull, Katie, or Cat?
With a bullet on Bull was great. Because you and I both just picked him up live on the air, and we're super psyched about it. Now, talk to us after Wednesday night. Will we still be excited? I don't know.
We're going to be on here 24 hours from now, continuing the Bull party, I believe.
We're either going to be continuing the party, or people are going to be typing notes on here like, you guys are idiots. Either way, I'm cool with it. It was worth it. I'm going to shout out Josh Hart, who we have not mentioned tonight. In that game against Indy, I'm surprised his line was not bigger than KD's. 12 out of 16 shooting, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a 3 in 40 minutes. That dude is one of the most reliable, consistent, fun Tom Thibodeau players of all time. And Josh Hart's a big reason, along with Kat and Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, that the Knicks are so good. But, man, Josh Hart has become a spectacular fantasy basketball player, and nobody ever talks about him. I wonder where you can, because he did this last year, and then this year's drafts came along, and everybody just ignored Josh Hart. Oh, he's not going to do anything. They've changed up the team. Cat's there, and he's still just balling out. He's a buy low for next year, man.
For me, I was out on Josh Hart when they had Dante and Randall, because Josh Hart probably was not going to start with them that deep. But then when they traded for Cat, that's when I immediately was like, I like OG, I like Mikal, I like Hart, because they only had a starting 5 and nothing else. So that was a whole pivot point for me on Josh Hart. So the guy that I want to shout out beyond the top performers of the night that we have right here is Malik Beasley. And I think you might have talked about him, Doc, but I want to make my point here. He's
coming up on the next list.
Bro, other than, I get the Peyton Pritchard thing, right? He's cute. He's cuddly. He plays for the defending champs. He's the end of quarter guy there in Boston. All that cute and cuddly stuff. All right. Would Boston be number 2 in the East if you took Peyton Pritchard out of the mix and somebody else was backfilling those minutes? Or Drew Holiday was doing more? I don't know. I'm not trying to just I guess I shouldn't diss a guy to pump up another. I'm not trying to do that. But Malik Beasley, to me, has been more of a difference maker to his team than Peyton Pritchard. All right. Peyton Pritchard is a cog in the machine for the Boston Celtics. The Detroit Pistons would be sub PIT level without Malik Beasley. And what he's done all year, he lives over 20 points per game off the bench. He's my 6th man of the year. I think he's the people's 6th man of the year as well. Tonight, 24 points, 7 threes, in 16 minutes. That's Klay Thompson sizzling, okay? Shout out to Malik Beasley. All right, Doc, give me your hold on a second. This is my job. To give the top 3 waiver wire performances of the night, and then you and I opine. That's my job. All right, number 3, Thomas Bryant with 18, 9, and 4, 1 block and 1 3. Malik Beasley, number 2, 24 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 7 3 balls. And Ball, 18, 4, and 2, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 3 threes, and 15% rostered. Dude, is Ball by the time the games come around on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday night, is Ball going to be 50% rostered? Is he going to shoot off of waivers and onto teams to go a plus 35 in percentile in less than 24 hours? Am I biting off more than I can chew?
I'm thinking if people are watching this show, they're going to go pick up Bol. I got a text message from Yuri, a good friend of the show, that I haven't been able to read yet, but I'm guessing it says something.
Read it right now.
About Bol. I'm just going to guess.
Pull up Yuri's
says,
text.
Nice pickup with clapping hands. And I don't know if she watched it or she just went to pick him up and I already had him. But so this is
get
interesting.
You some Bol, yo.
I just picked up pulled up the 2025 NBA 6 Man of the Year odds. Peyton Pritchard is still in first at minus 160, according to OddsShark.
Okay.
DeAndre Hunter is at plus 250, which I don't know if I agree with that after that trade to Cleveland. I still think there's a good chance Beasley is going to pass both of them.
Hold on. Let me guess the odds on Beasley. Beasley's plus 350.
750.
What? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Dude.
And then Naz Reid, can
I hold some for a minute and put some can I hold some for a minute and put some on Malik at plus 750?
Yeah.
Ooh, and then what was the other guy you were going to talk about?
Naz Reid's next at 1,400.
He's just not going to win it, but those odds are amazing, but he's just not going to win it.
I wonder why Hunter. Well, Hunter was closing on Pritchard hard before the trade happened, right?
He was, and when Jalen Johnson was healthy and he's hitting 20s and Atlanta was good and kind of a thing, I feel like that thing. I don't know, dude.
I don't.
But you're right. The DeAndre Hunter 6 Man of the Year thing's going to die in Cleveland, I believe.
And Peyton Pritchard is so hit or miss right now. Beasley, I feel like, just does it every night. And the fact that Detroit is winning games and blowing people out, Beasley just hit 7 3-pointers tonight. That's not factored into this. So I think Beasley's odds are coming down. I think we said like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Beasley's a good bet for 6 man. I bet his odds were like 1,500 back then, or higher than they are now. So Beasley's a good look. And then Thomas Bryant's going to play again tomorrow because the dude, I suddenly can't remember his name, Miles Turner is out again for the Pacers. So good stuff on these waiver wire lists that Andre's thrown us. I think we've covered them. Duds of the night. We've talked about most of these guys, but I don't mind with banging on them again.
Tyrese Maxey, he's number 3, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 3. Ouch. Number 2 worst was Nikola Vucevic, 8 and 7, 1 block. And then the worst line of anybody tonight, Kobe White, 5 3 and 2, and 1 steal. So Doc, yeah, and we've kind of made our points right there about those guys. So let's move on to Doc, a couple of other things here. All right, let me get to the right spot here in my rundown and talk about some coaching and rotation changes that happened tonight. So you had in Indiana, Doc, I'll give you both of these, okay? And I'll just describe them a little bit and then pick one of them or go wherever you want to go with it. But Rick Carlisle started Aaron Nesmith tonight. He didn't play very much. Ben Mathurin came off the bench. Mathurin actually had a pretty good game, had like 19 points. So I'm curious to see if that is going to remain. Nesmith obviously was a starter last year for them on their run to the East Finals, but that has not been the case this year as he's battled injuries and he's trying to get his game back, frankly. And then in New York, Doc, something I spotted was Landry Shamet. Okay, they dusted him off tonight. Bridges played 19 minutes. 29 minutes. Shamet played 19 minutes, okay? And Shamet played well, 11 points, 4 assists, had a block, had a steal. So that kind of rotationally, box score-wise, that's what caught my eye tonight. Anything beyond that for you, or do you want to comment on either of those things?
I'm not running out to pick up Landry Shamet, even in a deep league. Maybe 30 deep if I've got dead weight. I've got Andre Drummond on that team. If I drop Andre Drummond and pick up Landry Shamet just to see what happens, I don't know. Nesmith and Nembhard, I'm kind of over it. I wish they'd just start Mathurin. It's annoying. And Andre gave us a couple tidbits. Quentin Grimes started the second half over Justin Edwards for Philadelphia. Now, Quentin Grimes had 13.7 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a 3, a stat line that only Paul George could dream about. Actually, they're very similar, but Quentin Grimes is a good player. And I think if they're going to pull the plug on Justin Edwards, and they need to do something in Philly because it's just bad. It's not getting better. Maybe Quentin Grimes is going to end up taking his spot. Maybe Justin Edwards got hurt and we don't know about it, but Quentin Grimes should be on your watch list, I think. Oh,
I think that's a great point, Doc. Justin Edwards is a defensive guy. I heard them talking, Kate Scott and Ala Abdelnaby on the Sixers broadcast tonight about the defense that has gotten him into the starting lineup. Nick Nurse is a defensively rooted coach and so loves the defensive guys. Justin Edwards just doesn't bring a lot else to the table on that offensive side of the court. Quentin Grimes is a two-way guy. He's a good defensive player. He makes open threes. He can scoot to the hoop. He had a big pack finish tonight. Had a big dunk right down Broadway tonight, or whatever the main drag, South Street, I think it is in Philadelphia, whatever. But I could see Grimes starting their next game. I really could. I think that's a really interesting situation to monitor moving forward. Am I running to pick him up now? No. But again, it's a situation to monitor. Joel Embiid, since we're on Philly here, Doc, said he is not sure if he will play tomorrow in Brooklyn on the second night of a back-to-back. He said it depends on how his knee feels after tonight's game. Guys, if Joel Embiid plays in the second of a back-to-back, I'm going to freak out in a good way, right? Doc, that would shock me if Joel Embiid plays on Wednesday night. I am fully anticipating a DNP. I am fully anticipating a Gershon Yabusele special and a major bounce back from Tyrese Maxey, Doc. After the dud tonight, if that's a non-Embiid game, boom, Maxey's going to shoot right back over 30 points, I bet.
Yeah, and I mean, we were surprised Joel Embiid played tonight. Like, we thought this would be the one he sits. There's no way he's playing tomorrow, dude. There's no way. I would be more shocked than you if that were to happen. So I think it's a Yabu game. I agree, Maxey. I was all in on Maxey tonight. I guess I have to go all in on him again tomorrow night. But then another development that Andre has posted to our little notes here. Royce O'Neal started over Nick Richards in the second half of that Phoenix game. I don't think that makes my guy, who I love, Royce O'Neal, a guy you run out and pick up. But it tells me that Bud's like, look, Nick, you either give me something or you're not. I'm not playing you. And here comes Bull with a bullet. Yeah, Nick Richards is rough, dude. I think he looks like a drop to me. He's just never really popped in Phoenix. Phoenix is a mess. They are a real mess.
Nick Richards has been a drop for a while. This has bull written all over it. Royce O'Neal starting. Remember we talked earlier. I'm going bull, Kevin Durant, Grayson Allen, or Royce O'Neal. Take your pick. Tyus Jones and Devin Booker. That's how I'm rocking. Enough of the Nick Richards thing. So the fact that Royce O'Neal started the second half, dude, this is fanning the flames. This is pouring gasoline on the bonfire that is bull right now. Dude, all signs point to bull right now. All of them. All of the signs are pointing to bull right now, bro. The planets are aligning.
I wish I would have picked him up in Cam Dynasty before you did, but I'm not winning anything this year. Actually, I'm fine that you got him. I'm good with it.
Hopefully Bull can help me. Look, I lost Jalen Johnson for the year, right? So I feel like Bull might be that goody guy at the forward positions. Hey, shout out to Kevin Durant, dude. 30,000 points he hit tonight, Doc. Kevin Durant has joined the 30,000 point club. He's got a chance, I guess, to hit the 40,000 point club and join LeBron up there, but he's going to have to play a whole lot more, 10,000 more points. Guys like Durant score about 2,000 a year, so that's 5 more years, but 2,000 a year means you're not really hurt in those years. So 40,000 may be, a little bit too far, but he's the 8th player ever to reach 30 grand, Doc. That's pretty cool for KD.
Yeah. I mean, he's top 8 all-time in points. That's pretty cool. Andre was watching that game closely. He's like, man, KD does not want to hit the 30,000 point mark in a loss. So he was really trying to single-handedly bring the Suns back, him and Bull. But they weren't able to get it done. And I can't wait to watch Bull on Wednesday night, dude. Who are they playing?
I think Andre has this with the Bradley Beal update. I don't have that here.
Got a computer in.
Who does Phoenix play? Hold on a second.
Rockets. The Rockets.
That's right. Ooh, that's a good game, dude. Dude, Houston actually might trade for Kevin Durant this summer. Keep that in mind. They got the young players. They got the assets. I mean, Houston may be like, yo, we need a goodie guy. We need a vet like Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kyrie's going to be looking for a new team too. Who knows where he'll go?
Trae Young might be looking for a new team. You never.
Trae Young, Bradley Beal.
Braun might be looking for a new team. I don't know.
Dude, it'd be sweet if Beal went up to Siberia to play with Brandon Ingram.
He's got the no trade clause, though. See, he would definitely veto a trade to Toronto. He'd be like, Toronto? Are you serious? Hell no, I'm not going to Toronto. I have nothing against Toronto. Raptors fans, we love you. I'm just saying, I don't think Bradley Beal would okay a trade to your Toronto Raptors, okay? I don't think Kawhi Leonard would have okayed a trade to your Toronto Raptors had he had a no-trade clause, and boom, you guys win the chip in 2019. Oh, my gosh. Guys, go add Bull right now, okay? Or in Yahoo leagues where the league refreshes at 3 a.m. Eastern time, set an alarm for 3 a.m. Eastern, okay? Wake up, you're all blurry, make the pickup real quick, and then go back to bed. I do that all the time.
It let me pick him up in Yahoo as long as I wasn't dropping a guy who played today.
Right. My point is, if you want to drop a guy who played today, you got to wait till it refreshes overnight. But that happens at like 3 a.m. Okay. It's 1:23 a.m. right now. It's like an hour and a half from now. Maybe stay up again, set an alarm, and you can go right back to sleep. But you can pick up Bull. All right, Doc. Anything else for the people? Or are we out of here?
We're gonna do it again in 24 hours. We'll see you then.
That is correct. Around midnight Eastern on Wednesday night. 15 games, 30 teams, and we got you. Big thanks to our great producer, Andre Lemouche. For Dr. A, I am Cam, and huge thanks to all of you for joining us here on the Fantasy NBA today. We love you all. Please download the app, the Sports Ethos app. It's completely free. Please go to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. Give us this video a thumbs up, and also check out sportsethos.com and subscribe to our work over there. This episode right here is brought to you by Bet Online. Bull.